are back a little bit earlier than I expected. We know we've been away for quite some time now. It's because I've been on a marathon of painting stuff. As you can see, we've got there's all Mortalis on the way. This is most of it done. I've still got another box of it to do, but it's almost there, so we're going to debut that today. And we've got another debut. We've got Sisters, nearly all of the army there. We've got a lot of stuff on the way for them as well. That should be coming in a few days, but I'll have to paint that up. But anyway, that's where I've been. There's more stuff I've been painting than just this that you see today, but that's where I've been painting away at the grindstone. So we're about a little bit earlier than predicted because I feel that it's probably a good thing just to try and entertain people during this COVID-19 issue thing here. It's not going to affect us because we're living in the same house, so we can still deliver battle reports, try and keep everyone entertained. So expect the channel to start pumping the videos out again. Okay, so with that real world stuff out of the way, let's get into the 40k universe. So what we've got to imagine here is this is a small Sisters of Battle ship here. It's just came into the orbit of Vigilus, and this is the very underbelly of the ship where it's dark, nobody really goes except the security detail that's issued on the exit points just to keep a presence. It's a skeleton crew because travelling through the warp these days in the Great Rift era is dangerous. Most of the crew's probably been taken out by demons and whatnot, so there's a skeleton crew. The Sisters are still in good fighting shape, but the underbelly of the ship is pretty much deserted. Now, the Crimson Slaughter are nearby in orbit, and they've sent out a malefic siren signal that's latched itself in the mind of the navigator of the ship. So he is under the spell of this malefic siren, and he's brought himself below deck into the shady parts of the ship, and he's heading for the door. So there's the door. So what we're going to play is a modified version of the relic. So he is the relic. It's the relic mission out of the rulebook, but we're going to modify it. So both forces want the navigator, because the Sisters of Battle have got word of it, that he's leaving the ship, or something's weird's going on from the security detail down here. So the Sisters will be on the way down, but the relic, he will, at the start of every battle round, he'll move d6 inches towards the door throughout the game. And how the security detail will operate, the Voidsmen, they will just be under my control as the Sisters player, but each one's going to act as an individual unit. The very minor units there, so they're just there for flavour purposes really. But the Crimson Slaughter, with their rules, they'll not be able to charge them, but they can shoot them, and if they finish their move within an inch of them, they will be destroyed. The reason why they can't be charged on is just because we don't want the Crimson Slaughter to get an extra move, because it's such a closed environment. I will want the movement to be the real element of the game here. So yeah, so if they move within an inch of them, they'll be destroyed automatically, and the Crimson Slaughter can shoot them if they want to. So the advantage of them actually killing the security detail for the Crimson Slaughter is actually built into the Crimson Slaughter's renegade rules. So if they kill a unit on a 5+, they get a command point. So there's some incentive for killing the security detail for the Crimson Slaughter. So just to recap, he's going to move d6 inches at the start of every battle round towards the exit door, and the Crimson Slaughter and Sisters are going to do battle over a very, very important person. If you don't have him, you can't travel through the warp. So he's a very sought after bloke. Okay, so this is going to be a normal game of 40k. The only other modification we're going to do is there's no real rules for Zone Mortalis as far as I'm aware, so we're going to borrow a rule from the Kill Team Rogue Trader game on how to open the doors. This is going to be the only difference. So what we're going to play is the rules are: you can move to the door and open it, or you can start your move on the door and open the door. However, you just can't go through the door after that. So you can move to the door and open it, but you can't move through it in the same turn. So to operate the door, we're going to say you have to move onto the 2 squares here. So if a sister, for instance, moves onto those 2 tiles, she can open the door then, and obviously that works from the opposite side of the door as well. So just over 600 points, it's 620 points around for this Adepta Sororitas army. So a long time ago we used to actually have the old metal sisters, and they were in Order of the Sacred Rose colours. So we've continued that tradition into the plastics here, because everyone knows the good guys, you dress in white. Bad guys wear the black hat, good guys wear the white hat. So this is the Order of the Sacred Rose, continuing traditions. And their conviction is you can overwatch on a 5 and a 6, that's pretty handy. You never lose more than 1 in a morale check, which is good, because I do like to take larger squads in 40k, just preference. And you can gain a miracle dice on a 5+ if you've already done active faith. So it sounds complicated, but it's not really. A bit of bookkeeping involved for the sisters, but it shouldn't get too complex. I'll try to keep it simple as I start to gather momentum with the army. So I've got just the minimal stuff ready on show here. So we're going to do this now. You do it after deployment, but it makes no difference, because I'm going to select my Sacred Rite, because it's a full sisters army here. So Sacred Rites, you can either roll twice on this chart, or you can pick one. So I'm going to pick one, and it's going to be Divine Guidance, and it means if I roll a 6 to wound with shooting attacks, it becomes a further AP -1. So essentially we're looking out for the bolt guns, trying to roll 6s and get AP -1 bolt guns if we're lucky. So what have we got here? So we've got the Canoness. So she has, well, she's got what she's got. She's got a power sword. I wish it was the big blessed blade, but it's got to be a power sword, which is unfortunate, because I would pay for the nice sword if I could, but it is just a power sword. And she's got a plasma pistol tucked in her cape on her person, so she's got that. And she's also got the Rod of Office, so it extends her radius an extra 3 inches, so it means she's got a 9-inch radius to reroll 1s, which is very nice. And second in command, we've got the man who is not Thaddeus, number 2. So he's from the Blackstone Fortress, but you still can take him, because his keywords match up just fine. And he's got a power maul, and he's got a servo skull that fires as well. It's like a little ball pistol that fires 3 shots, so he's pretty handy. And if you're within 6 of him, you get an extra attack, which could prove pivotal in these close confines. Sisters, notorious, not very good in battle, not very good in close combat, but gives them just an extra bit there. So the relic for the Canoness, we're going to go for the ability to re-roll 1 of our miracle dice as we gain them. So it's called Litanies of Faith, that one. So how you gain miracle dice is you get 1 at the start of the battle round for being Sisters of Battle, and then I'm going to generate a second due to her Warlord trait being Beacon of Faith. So I'm going to generate 2 miracle dice at the start of the battle round, and I get to re-roll 1 of those with her relic. So try and get some miracle dice going today. So for troops, we've got a big 10-man unit here. So we've got a combi melter and a melter gun and a heavy flamer, and we've got the banner, which I dare not even say because I'll truly get the name wrong. I always do. I'm going to try it. The Imperialis Simicromulum. I'll get it right the next time, but for now, it's that. Second squad, 5 sister squad here, just with bolters and a storm bolter, and then a 5 sister squad here with a flamer, and the superior has a power sword as well. So this cherub is carrying a bolt gun. Oh, we've also got the old hospitaler or hospitaler. So she is a medic until I get the new one. So she'll try and heal people. And then we've got a retributive squad here. So we've got 2 multi-melters and 2 heavy bolters. And again, we've got the impossible banner to say. And the superior's got a maul and a combi plasma. So I do plan on bringing that up to a 10 sister squad. That's why she's pretty kitted out, that superior. So that will happen soon. And then we've got the Repentia. So 4 of them. Should be okay with just 4 in close confines in the smaller game. And then a penitent engine going to be storming through the halls here. So this is just the basic one with dueling heavy flamers and the buzzsaws. So all these sisters are in a battalion detachment, so we're going to end up with 8 command points being battle forged.
Okay, this is a Crimson Slaughter army, 620 points here. It's an elite detachment. It has the Mark of Corn. Leading it is Crannan. He has the Blade of Relentless. Has a +1 strength and -3 AP. If it slays an enemy, it rolls automatic wounds thereafter. His Warlord trait is the Maelstrom of Torment, and that's a -1 leadership to enemy within 6 inches. And if he slays an enemy model, it goes up to 9 inches, and it's a -2 leadership. The Renegade trait for this detachment is a Moment's Peace, and if you destroy an enemy, they get a 5+ command. On a 5+, they get a command point back, and that unit passes morale checks thereafter. Okay, well, next to Sylvestus Crannan, we have Roche Tatzol, and he's a kind of lieutenant for the Chaos Forces.
Exalted Champion.
Exalted Champion, that's the one. He has a power axe, and he's got a melted gun on his back. Sneaky. Got a Hell Brute, that's a melted gun. Got a Chosen unit here, outfitted as you see.
The Chosen of Draznich.
Chosen of Draznich, yeah. And then we've got 3 units of Possessed.
So it's 4 command points for Crannan's Borden party, an aggressive looking bunch, and we're going to bring the fight straight into the heart of the Adepta Sororitas. So for deployment, we're in these bays here. So the Crimson Slaughter, you've got to imagine that the Crimson Slaughter Thunderhawk has entered the bay and unleashed Crannan's attacking force here. So they're ready to burst through those doors and get into the underbelly of the ship and get a hold of this navigator who is under the spell of that malefic siren. And the sisters have come down in this lift. If you imagine that yellow square is a lift that comes down from the top of the ship. They've got wind of this attack on the ship. They're a particularly lucky order with miracles, this order, so they've got wind of it. The Emperor is on their side so far, and they're going to look to defend their ship and retain their navigator. And so because the Crimson Slaughter are attacking the ship, they will get the first turn because the attackers often have the element of surprise. So off they go through that door. It's going to get ugly. It's the start of the first battle round, and as promised, the navigator will walk towards his doom, towards the bay doors. So he's going to go d6 inches towards his doom. 3 inches, he's going to go 3 inches forward. Right, first turn for the Crimson Slaughter, and we're going to experience this. This is where it can get a bit tricky in this board. Congestion, it can be a big issue. So we've seen that already. There's been a big cluster up in the centre here, but the Possessed have pushed on forward. Everything is advanced. And we've got the 2 Possessed units there. We've got Roche in the centre. He's given those vital rerolls in combat when it comes to it. Possessed there. The Chosen have gone out. Crannan, he's the one who opened the door, so he can't go through the breach just yet. But the Dreadnought powers through. So the Dreadnought is within an inch of this Voidsman here. So what we're going to do, he's going to be destroyed because he's within an inch of the Dreadnought, but we are going to allow Overwatch in the last stand of the Voidsman. So they've missed the Dreadnought. He is eradicated with a backhand slap straight against the wall in a red mist. So because he's destroyed, we're going to allow the Crimson Slaughter on a 5 to get a command point, as is their trait. So they do roll a 6, so there's the command point back, so they've got 5 command points now. And then this Guardsman, he's hit by the Possessed, so he's going to offer up his last dying Overwatch. He does get a hit, he needs a 5. And doesn't wound, right? So he's destroyed, and because you already got 1 command point this battle round, it's not going to gain you another one. But yeah, it was dead now. Good fun for the Crimson Slaughter. Blood splattered against the walls early, just how Crannan likes it. So it's turn 1 for the sisters, and it's time to gain a miracle dice at the start. So we do actually gain 1 at the start of the battle round, which I forgot. So this is the one for the start of the battle round. So we'll roll a 1. I'm going to use the Canoness's relic to re-roll that, see if we can get something different for that miracle dice. A 2, that's 100% better. So the next miracle dice is part of a Warlord trait. It's a 1, and we don't get to re-roll that one. So sisters on the move here in the first turn. So the Hospitaller went to the door and opened it, allowed for the penitent engine to run through 10 inches and the Retributor squad to run through 10 inches. So now we're going to have the Canoness. She is going to run just to get to catch up with these. But what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our miracle dice from the dice pool, because we don't really need to move all that much. So we're going to use the 2. In fact, we'll use the 1. We're going to use the 1. So she's going to run 7 inches, but the reason why I've done that is because with this order conviction, every time we've performed a miracle on a 5+, we'll get another dice. So we don't, but that's what I'll be using all of my low scoring dice for in the future, is to just do arbitrary runs just to try and generate a better dice. And the sisters continue the movement through the doorway, pretty much everyone moving 10 inches with advances. And unfortunately the Repentii are the ones that we did want to go far. They're the only ones who didn't. So a bit of a cluster in the doorway, but we've got through the majority. So we've moved on down to here. The only shooting we can do is we're going to take control of the 2 Voidsmen here, and they're going to have their last stand shots against the possessed here. So we're going to have this Voidsman. He's going to shoot at this unit of possessed here. So he's in rapid fire range with these guns. He gets 1 hit, needs a 5. He does get a wound, saving on a 3. It's a 2. Voidsman draws blood. So this Voidsman's going to fire at the same squad. Needs 4s, gets a double hit. He knows it's his last stand. He's trying to make them count, and he doesn't. Straight into battle round 2 now, so the navigator moves again, D6. When he moves an inch, he's looking at that big red wall, and he's starting to come to his senses a little bit. Okay, movement for Crimson Slaughter in turn 2. The possessed have just moved. They don't want to get too close just yet, because they could be at the mercy of the multi-melters when they arrive, and there's a rampaging penitent engine that could turn up. So he's just keeping cohesive in the centre. No one's running too far away from the mass, and he's got some shots to do because the Chosen have moved. Vrosh is on side for a shot, and so is Metallicus, and they're going to try and polish off the guardsmen, try and get themselves a few extra command points here. So who's shooting first?
Start with Vrosh there.
So Vrosh, he's got Blitzing skill of 2, so he's hitting on 3s. He's using his bolt gun profile, and he needs 3s to wound. He gets 1 wound, that's a 6 in the distance. So which one are you shooting at?
This guy.
Okay. Has he got cover from there?
No, not really.
No. Okay, so he's sitting on a 5. He gets it. The Emperor protects. So the Chosen are going to shoot now. So these are all equipped with bolt guns except the Lightning Claw guy. So he's doing 2 bolt guns at one Voidsman, 2 bolt guns at the other. So this is.
So they all hit.
So they all hit. And 2 wounds. So which one is this on?
This one here.
Okay, so he's got 2 saves to make, a 5, and gets 1, fails 1, but he's dead. So on a 5, you're going to gain a command point for the battle round, and he's got it again, so he's got himself another command point for this battle round. So you're going to try and finish off the other one.
4 shots into him, 2.
And he gets them all again.
And that's 3.
3. Okay, so 5s to save. The last stand of the Voidsman. Oh, the Emperor does not protect this time, so he's dead. So the Voidsmen are cleared away, and that concludes the Crimson Slaughter's turn 2. So movement, the Retributors have moved 6 inches up the corridor, but then I remember I haven't done my miracle dice, because it's at the start of the battle round, not at the start of your turn. So, well, at least one of them is, so the one at the start of the battle round is a 1. We're going to re-roll that with our Canoness, so we'll get a 3. And then the one we get at the start of our turn for the Canoness's Warlord trait, we get a 6. Lovely. So we've got 3 and a 6 in the bank now to go along with our 2. Alright, sisters complete the movement, so the penitent engine goes screaming down the corridor there. He's gone 10 inches. Everyone else except the Retributors have advanced, so we've used a miracle dice to get the Repentii squad, that 6-inch run, so they've gone up into the action, so we needed those as close to the action as possible. We used a command point reroll on these to try and get them to run, but rolled a double 1, so they only went 7, so very slow. and we're breaking away on that side. We're going to send a sister squad over that way for now, and this squad's just in support, and then the characters are in the centre there. So we've only got one thing that can shoot, and that's the Retributors. So we are within 24 inches of the Hellbrute, so we're going to fire our multi-melters at the Hellbrute and seize arm, and we're going to fire the heavy bolters at the possessed squad in the centre, because sorry, the chosen squad, because all the possessed are hidden. So we're not going to use any stratagems, I don't think, yet, because our multi-melters happen to be in range. There is a stratagem that allows you to extend your multi-melter range, but we don't need it for now. So anyway, Retributors can move and shoot without penalty with heavy weapons. It's very good. So the heavy bolters going down at the possessed. Here we go. Actually, I'll tell you what, for one command point, we're going to use our special order stratagem. So it's for bolt guns. Any 6s that were rolled to hit is an extra hit. So heavy bolters, let's see if they can do the job, so you can get some 6s. So we get 1 6, so haven't wasted the stratagem there. So again, extra hit, and they're all hit. So we're needing 3s now against just the basic chosen. And there's 5 wounds, so no 6s, so our sacred rites don't come into action. But it's just 5 wounds at
That's
AP. On the chosen, 5 wounds at AP -1, just regular.
Possessed, actually. 3.
Oh, I can't say any possessed, so it's got to be chosen.
Yeah, it's also.
So 4s to save.
So 1
All but 1, so 1 drops. Right, now the juicy bit. The 2 multi-melters at the front going at the Hellbrute. So here we go, hitting on 3s. Double hit. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to use our 3 from our miracle dice pool to automatically make 1 wound. So one of them's automatically going to wound. The next one we need a 3. And we get a 1. That is sour. Do command point reroll it. Yes we do. Normally I would save it for damage, but I'm too tempted and it's happened again. Another 1, so we're down to 5 command points now. And there's egg all over my face. So we're AP -4, but you do have cover behind that block, so it'll be AP -3 effectively, so you get a save on a 6. Let's hope this is not all in vain. Nope, it goes through, didn't quite get it. So D6 damage on the Dread, it's a 3, so 3 wounds shaved off, and that's the end of the shooting phase. So on a 6 you'll go crazed and you'll fire back. He doesn't go crazed, that was a 5. So 3 wounds stripped off the Dreadnought. So turn 3, the Navigator will now move 1 inch. He's definitely coming to his senses. He's shaking it off as the sisters come closer and cast their holy shadow onto him. So it's now battle round 3, and I've remembered I do my miracle dice at the start of a battle round. So I get a 6, so I've got a 6 in the bank there. So we'll continue with the Crimson Slaughter's movement. So the possessed, they've all moved up looking for a charge if one's presented. And then everyone with a gun has just stepped forward. So even the Dread's gone forward. Bolt guns here, and then Vrosh with his combi melter. They want to take out the Penitent Engine. If they can take him out, that's pretty much the combat element, most of it, of the Sisters gone. And that's going to allow a big bust up in the middle. Alright, the Hellbrute is going to fire his meaningful shot. So before he does, he's played the Blasphemous Machine stratagem, which means he gets a +1 to hit, which negates his penalty for moving. So he's going to hit on a 3 against the Penitent Engine. So he needs a 3. He gets a 6. Needs a 3 to wound. Doesn't do it. It's a command point reroll.
Oh.
Vrosh only gives you reroll wounds in combat. He's not like a Space Marine Lieutenant.
Oh, right. Command point reroll.
Yep, command point reroll. Needs a 3. It's easily enough done. He gets a 4. That's a success. These do not have an invulnerable save, and I don't think I'm within 12. Let's get me measuring stick out.
He's within 12.
He is within 12, base to base. I think he's just out. He's just out of 12. So it's D6 damage. It's 2. Alright, we do have feel no pain saves against this, which we make neither. So he's got 5 wounds, he's down to 3 left. He's not all that tough, and he's got another melter gun to weather, because Vrosh has one. He's got the medicine. Can he hit? Needs a 3. He rolls a 1. He's not within 6 of Crannan because Crannan was slow on his movement. So we survived the melter guns. Right, so 2 wounds taken on the penitent engine. He's got 3 left. So the possessed have got 3 bolters. Do they have the remedy? So he's hitting on 3s, and he gets reroll 1s because of Crannan.
We'll fire these at your Retributor squad instead.
Alright, he's changed his mind. So at the Retributor is a softer target. He's going to trust in his possessed to do the job in combat.
That's 3.
The Crannan only gives you rerolls of 1. He's not
Does he?
Chapter Master. Showing you Ultramarines colours.
2 hits, so I'll roll those again.
Yeah, so 3's to wound.
So I've got 1 wound.
1 wound in the end. So 3's to save. And we do. Right, so that's all from the melter guns. It's pretty disappointing showing from the Hellbrute and Roche. They're going to have red faces to go with the red armour. And it's charging time now, so this possessed squad thought about it, but he's decided this squad is the best one because they're outside of the Overwatch flamers from the penitent engine, so they're going to try a charge. They're going to need a 9 to make it in. Ooh, a 6 and a 1. We thought it would be. Command point reroll in play. It gets a 10, they're in. No Overwatch can be achieved because he's charged outside that flamer distance. So in they go. So the possessed are in. They've left a little gap because Roche wants to join them to get those rerolls in combat. So he needs a 9 on the dice. So I see a 4 and one of them's gone behind the thing. So it's failed by an inch.
Try the other squad, that's 5 inch.
So he's left a gap.
6 inches.
This squad can get through. This is the desperation one. Oh, double 6. If only Roche got that. But anyway, I think that's overkill. I think he's underestimating the power of these possessed. I think these are just going to mince through that machine, especially with only 3 wounds left. So with that little space that he left, that extra possessed squad has gone in. So he's going to have 4 fighting, and one of them is lingered at the back here to get rerolls to wound from Roche Tassel, the Exalted Champion. So he's got D3 plus 1 attacks. So that's 1 plus 1 for shock assault, or hateful assault it's called. So 8 attacks and 6s give death to the false emperor.
So that's 1.
So 3 misses, so you can take those 2 1s out, and then he did get 1 death to the false emperor. So for an extra hit, so he does get that extra hit. So 6 in total, and then 4s to wound, and then rerolls filled wounds because of Roche. Alright, so he's got 4 in the end. These are damage, AP 2, but damage 1. So we've got 6s to save. How many did I say that was?
4.
Okay. So you've got 6s to save. Get 1 save, and then these are feel no pain saves, or 5 ignores wound save. And we make 1, and we only take 2 wounds. We've got 1 wound remaining. So he's hanging on with 1 wound. Do we want to jump the queue with 1 wound? I think so. We're going to spend 2 command points. So we're down to 3 command points now left, and we're going to fight before we are eradicated. Okay, counter-offensive. Here we go. He's got 5 attacks because he's got an extra weapon or a paired rotary blades. He's going against the unit that hasn't fought, of course. So he's got 5 attacks. He hits on 4s. And he's got Zealot because he's been charged, so you can reroll, fail, hit roll. So he's still got 4 in the end. So strength 8, we're needing 2s to wound, which we get all 4. Right, you've got an invulnerable save of 5, and these are 2 damage each. So you're going to need 5s to save, and each one will kill a possessed marine. Rolls 50% success, so only 2 go down. And that's all from the penitent engine because he's still going to have to put up with 3 possessed attacking him now. Right, possessed to fight back now, so D3 attacks from the 3 remaining possessed. So it's 3 plus 1 because of shot assault, so he's got 4 attacks each. It's a pretty number, so 12 attacks. It's going to be all the dice he can muster. And 3s to wound. And look at all those death to the false emperors. 2 death to the false emperors in there. He's just taking out his misses. So he gets an extra 2 hits because of those 6s. Which are successful. Right, needs 4s to wound and no rerolls this time. And he gets 4, and we're saving on 6s. AP -2. Don't save any. We need to get all of these on our feel no pins. We get 2, but drop 2. Right, so he's dead. He doesn't explode. So he just goes down in a heap of scrap, and the pilot is just torn to pieces. So on a 5+, you'll gain yourself a command point as per Crimson Slaughter. No, not this time. Right, so with him out of the way, he goes on to consolidate onto the Retributor squad. He's going to try and lock them up. So you can't fight them, but the Retributors can fight him. So I've got 4 sisters fighting because we're stacked so deep. So it's just the basic sisters with the guns, but we do have an extra attack because of the missionary, or Thaddeus from Blackstone Fortress. The man who isn't Thaddeus. So we're hitting on 4s, and we're reroll 1s because of the Canoness within 9 inches. Okay, that's a good amount there. 5s to wound. This is the hard part. Get 1. Need a 3 to save. Saves. Okay, turn 3 for the sisters. I've already done the start of the battle round roll. This is for my turn. For the miracle dice for the Canoness for a warlord trait. And we get a 2, which we can re-roll. So we'll do that. That's a 6. We've got 2 6s in our pool now. Right, movement for the sisters in turn 3. So we've dropped out of combat with the Retributor squad, and we've played the Judgment of the Faithful stratagem here. So it's 2 command points, and you can shoot and charge even if you fell back. So we're going to shoot. You best believe it. And I just noticed, I don't know if it's like this on anyone else's cards, it's got a typo at the end. Characteristic of 10 or more. I wonder if that's just me or anyone else out there. So anyway, that's cost us 2 command points and down to 1 command point left. And then the rest of the movement, the Repentia have been stuck there, but the plan, if we deal with this unit, we're going to plan to charge up here. And then these 2 sisters units move up round here to the door. So they've both advanced to get round that far. This unit have moved to the door and opened it. And we just can't get what we want on side with our guns, but we do have shots. I think we might have to just try and shoot down the Hellbrute on a lucky shot here. So we'll see how this all turns out, entering the shooting phase. So we've got Retributor squad, we're going to have the heavy bolters, well everything, into that 3 unit possessed there. So heavy bolters first, and real 1s because of the Canoness. So only 2 hits, leading 3s to wound, and we get 2 wounds, so it's one of them's a 6, so that's AP -2, so he's saving on a 5 on that one.
And a 5.
So it is a wound, and a save of 4 on that one, and saves that one. So he's taking a wound in that unit. So we're going to fire the bolt gun from the Simulacrum. Gets 2 hits, needs 4s. Get them both, so needing 3s to save. And now the plasma gun, the element not overcharged, because we don't want to kill ourselves. Get 1 hit, need a 3 to wound. We do wound, you need a 5 invulnerable save here. Doesn't do it right, so we'll knock off that last wound. So there's only 2 left, and we've got our melter guns to fire. So here we go, 2 melter guns. Reroll 1s because of the Canoness right next to them. Oh no, so only 1 wound. We're going to use a miracle dice. This number 2 here can't bear to roll a 1 here. So we've used our miracle dice. We've performed a miracle of faith, so on a 5+ we'll get a miracle dice. Nope, hasn't happened yet. So anyway, invulnerable 5 on one of those possessed. Doesn't happen. The damage is 5, so we've killed a possessed, absolutely vaporized. Okay, now we'll have the man who isn't Thaddeus. He's going to fire his skull pistol into the possessed. So he's hitting on 4s, gets 2 hits. Can't reroll 1s because he's not part of the order, and needs 4s, I think. 2 4s as far as memory serves, but he saves them anyway. Can't remember what his pistol is, if it's toughness, strength 3 or 4. Anyway, that's saved, so that's eliminated that. Right, shooting over here. Let's try and chop this fire up into good away. Right, so we've sort of jammed up a little bit here. We haven't got the perfect angle to fire at that possessed squad. So we're going to have to fire off some shots at the Hellbrute in the distance. And we're going to split them up like this. So we've got 5 shots at the Hellbrute in the distance. We'll just get these out of the way. And we get 4 hits. 5s to wound. We get 1 wound, so he saves on a 3. Saves. Alright, and then the meaningful shots here, we've got a heavy flamer, we've got a melter gun, and we've got 2 bolt guns. So we're going to do the 2 bolt guns at the possessed. Reroll ones because we're within 9 of the canoness. So 2 hits and a 4's to wound. 2 wounds, so 3's to save. Oh, 1 down. Double 2. So 4 more to go.
3 to save.
It was 3 to save, yeah.
Command point reroll on one.
It's got a command point reroll. So 1 wound dished out because he saved that that bit of an insult there on a double 2. Right, so let's nail him with a heavy flamer now. We're getting 6 shots. Burn and purge these heretics. Clean the filth. So we get 4 wounds from the heavy flamer. So you save on 4s against these. Right, so there's 1 dead and the extra wound knocked off. So the reroll didn't matter in the end. So 2 possessed go down. And we've still got our melter gun in hand. So here comes the melter gun. Right, melter gun needs a 3 to hit. I'll tell you what, we're going to use our miracle dice of 6 here to hit. So we're going to wound on a 2. Oh, actually, we've performed because we're going to do an extra act of faith there because we've got the simulacrum for this unit because we've already used one. So this allows us to use one for the unit, and on a 5+ we'll regain. Nope, it still hasn't worked. But anyway, back under the wounded. Wound on a 2 against the possessed. Oh, and I don't want to use a command point either. So he gets away with it on our last command point, and we just couldn't bear to roll with a 1. Right, at the end of the shooting phase, we're going to have to get in deeper here now. So the Repentia are going to charge this back unit of possessed. So we're going to come within an inch of this possessed. So we're going to charge them both. We're going to hope for this back squad if we get long enough. So here we go. I don't know what the charge range is, but 5 is not very far. We'll have to check this out, get the tape measures out. Alright, I'm going to need to re-roll this command point re-roll after all the measuring, so here we go. Oh, failed the charge on the long squad, but we can crowd round that possessed. So the sisters have gone in like that, and then we've thrown in the man who isn't Thaddeus in the combat as well, just because he loves a good scrapping. So because we've got Thaddeus there, gives them an extra attack, and that means we're going to have 12 attacks from the eviscerators, so very nice weapons these. 4s to hit, and we've got the zealot rule, so we can re-roll hit rolls on the first round of combat. So just 2 miss in the end, and then these are strength 6 I believe, so we need 3s to wound. That's pretty good. We've got 8 wounds, and I believe the AP is devastating. I think it's 3. Just flicking through my codex here. There we are. It's AP -3, so you're on your invulnerable saves of 5. So he's filled them all, and it's damage to each. So they absolutely tear through him like there's no tomorrow. And they're going to consolidate. Let's see if we can get within an inch of this possessed squad. So the Repentia move on up the street. We do not get in base to base or within an inch of the possessed because we don't want the possessed to fight us. We're just putting up a wall there, not allowing them to get deep into our heavy weapon squad again. Because we don't want them tied up, because we've run out of command points now. So that is the end of the sisters' turn. Okay, it's battle round 4, and the sisters get a myrtle dice, and it's a 3, so we'll keep that. And the navigator, he moves on. Has he shaken himself out of his?
Well, let's hope so.
Out of his mind control, but he's still under the spell of Crannan and his malefic ways. So he moves on 5 inches deep into the Crimson Slaughter. It doesn't look like the sisters are going to get him back at this point. damnation awaits. Okay, Crannan is getting crafty now. He's put his orders around. Even the possessed can understand them. So the 3 possessed that were there have now peeled off. They'll go over here 7 inches. They'll open that far door. It allows the other possessed unit to move up with a charge now on the cards for those poor sisters who thought they were safe behind that door. The Hellbrute moves on. He's going to look to take it to the Repentia and make them repent. Vrosh, he's just moved. Crannan, he ran, so he's not going to be able to charge, but he's definitely given off his rerolled aura. And the possessed, they're just staying in tow, just bodyguarding the asset. So we're going to go into the shooting phase now. He's just made it clear that he is actually in his hospice now, so the Chosen are in control of the relic, the Navigator. So they can move next turn up to 9 inches with them and just disappear back into the Thunderhawk. It's looking that way. We've got a lot to chew through to trying to get to our asset. But we've got to come through the gunfire first. So this Chosen squad, they're going to fire the bolt guns. There's 3 bolt guns in there. They're going to pick off these sisters if they can. So here we go. 3s to hit, reroll 1s, but none appear. So 3s to wound.
3.
Get 3, right. So the sisters are saving, and we're going to use one of our miracle dice, one of our 3s, to automatically save one of them. And then we need to pass these on a 3. So we'll save those. So no casualties. Then because we've performed an act of faith on a 5, we'll get a dice. No, it hasn't turned up yet. Our order rule is out of order. Alright, so it's now the Hellbrute to shoot, or the Vrosh, which is it? Which one are you going for?
So fire Rosh.
Okay, the melter gun or the bolt gun?
He's going to use his bolt gun.
Alright, so the bolt gun element gets both hits, 3s to wound, and he gets 1, so we're saving on a 6 with a Repentia. No, and then she's got a fail no pain of 5. No, so we lost 1, so we're going to take the back one. So still a screen of 3 blocking up that passage.
And the
Hellbrute, he hits on a 5. He wounds on a 5, so we need a 6. Emperor, protect us. No, and then it's D6. It's 2d6 damage. Pick the best at this range. He's just going to absolutely smoke a sister from here. So 6. We need 6 5s. No, she's vaporized as well. So we'll take the middle one. So Thaddeus will stand there, strong, holding the book of faith, showing the dreadnought. He's not afraid, but really, underneath that robe, his knees are a knocking. Right, so the charge phase is upon us. So this unit of possessed are going to charge that Battle Sister squad. We've got a Storm Bolter in there, and then 4 bolters, but we're going to throw a crack grenade with the superior. So the crack grenade first. We're needing 5s to hit because of our order conviction. So we've missed with the crack grenade, and then all of our bolt gun shots together, the 5s. Oh, that's pretty good in the end. We've got 5, so we're needing 4s to wound. Come on, sisters. 3.
juicy.
Needing to save on 3s. So best shot at doing a wound. We do a wound. There is an outstanding wound on that squad, so one of them's dead. So that was money in the bank earlier on. That was crucial for this moment of obliteration. So 4 of them will make in that charge. There's only an inch, so there's no need to roll. So is there any other charges going on?
Right, so put the dread in.
Right, so there's no guns in that squad. Are you going to go for Thaddeus as well? Because he can shoot at you with his pistol.
Yeah, if we can get him, yeah.
Alright, so Thaddeus is going to let loose. He needs 6s because he's not part of the order. And he's missed. So in goes the Dread. The Repentia don't have any guns. Just the Emperor's name on their lips.
And then these will go in.
Right, the Possessed are going in as well. So they got a charge of 5, so they go in. Nothing we can do about that. So I've run out of command points, so I can't intervene at any point. So he's just going to go through his combat at will here. So he's going to start at the furthest one. So there's 4 of them fighting. So D3 plus 1 because of shot assault. It's going to be 3 attacks each for 12 attacks. So that's basically all of his red dice. Wish we had more of these, but we've got 12 and that's the magic number. So 3s and reroll 1s because of Crannan. He is within 6. There he is in his cape. And 1 death to the False Emperor, so you can get an extra attack in there. So just 1 miss in the end when it's all said and done. So 3s to wound because these are strength 5 against toughness 3. So 3s.
Oops.
And 1 stray dice. So that's all but 1. So how many is that? Because that's pretty split. My eyes are getting cross-eyed.
Yeah, so that's 3, 6, 9.
9. Alright then. So it's AP minus 2. So 7 on 5s. Come on, sisters. That is a very decent showing. We've lost 4. The superior stands with a chainsword, but 4 sisters go down. So 4 sisters down. Each one takes about 3 weeks to paint. So each one is a dagger to my heart. So on to the next combat. There's 3 of them to fight the Repentia.
Well, I think there's only 2 will be able to fight.
Okay, 2 to fight, and it's D3 plus 1 attacks again. So 2 attacks each. There's 4 attacks.
Let's come on point, reroll on one. Oh, maybe not.
No, there's no real need to force. Alright, he gets all of it. And 3s to wound. Can reroll that because Vrosh is right next to them. Gets 4. So we need invulnerable 6s for the Repentia. Don't get any. It's only damage 1, so we need our fail no pins of 5. Make 2, fail 2, but there's only 2 in that unit anyway, so they are killed. That unit's gone, but they've fulfilled their role in life. They've killed themselves in a glorious way, and we get a miracle dice because of it. So our miracle dice is a 6. Okay, we've got 2 6s in the bank now and a 2. We're going up in the world, but we're losing precious sisters. So they're gone. They can pile in how they want. Alright, time for the Hellbrute. The big nasty Hellbrute. He's just going to try and squash the man who isn't Thaddeus. He's got 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. He gets only 3. Thaddeus laughs in his face. 2s to wound. And can reroll 1s, I think. Well, can reroll all field wounds because of Vrosh.
3.
3. Right, just quickly check the codex just in case it was infantry that can reroll wounds, but it's not, it's anything. So the Hellbrute did get his 3. And we need to save on our invulnerable 4s. And it's flat 3 damage, so we need to save 2 of these to survive. And we fill them all. So he drops the book and then gets squashed into the ground. The Hellbrute roars. Right, so we've got our solitary sister to fight. She's the only survivor, so she's got 3 attacks. And she missed every single one. She's obviously feeling the heat. So there is a morale check to take for her. She's down by 4, but she passes. So the fight goes on with her. Okay, turn 4 for the sisters, and at the start of the turn, start of our turn, for the Warlord trait, for the Canoness, we get a miracle dice. And what is it? It's a 2, not that impressive. But I'll tell you what, we can reroll that with our relic, so that's what we'll do. Oh, I'll take it back, that's not what we'll do. Right, it's a 1. Okay, so remove that 2, it's causing us pain. Where were we? Right, yes, so we've got some rolls to do.
2.
It's 2 rolls, we forgot to do rather. The Crimson Slaughter killed the Repentia unit, and the Crimson Slaughter and 5+ will get a command point.
I'm Thaddeus.
So
that's 2 rolls.
2 rolls, but if he gets them both.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets a command point back. That was for both the Repentia squad and Thaddeus, those 2 dice rolls. Right, to come to this then, we'll have to stop the Hellbrute in its tracks. So we're going to fire the Retributed squad at it. It's got 5 wounds left. We're going to trust that this is going to work. In fact, we'll do the heavy bolters at the possessed. We're going to hedge our bets on the melter guns getting the job done. So only the heavy bolters and the bolter at the possessed. So here's the heavy bolters. 6 dice. We roll 1s because of the Canoness. So we get all of them. And then needing 3s to wound against the possessed. All but 1. Oh, hang on. We'll get 2 6s in there, so that's AP minus 2. So 2 on AP minus 2, you need 5s to save on these 2. Right, you've lost 1 Marine. It's good news. Heavy bolters working. Then we've got 3 wounds to save on 4s. See if we can peg another. And we do. There's another possessed drop down. Dead.
Can't point reroll.
Okay, he's desperate. Wants to save face. Just a wound in the ending. Gah. Right, we'll have the extra bolter in that unit fire at the possessed as promised. Reroll 1s. Gets 2 hits, needs 4s. Get 1. And he fails it, so there's the possessed dead after all. So 1 remaining in that unit.
Yeah.
Okay, right, now it's time for the multi-melters at the Hellbrute. So we did make sure we're out of 3 inches just in case it explodes. So, right, we're hitting on 3s. This is scary stuff now. Hitting on 3s. Both hit. Right, we're going to use a... I need 3s to wound. This is it. We're right in the face of the Dreadnought. Yeah, we're going to use our... two miracle dice. We can use 2 because we're just using that for the first time this turn, a miracle dice, and then the simulacrum allows us to use a second. So with the FAQ in line, that's actually how you do it. So we've done 2. No, we've done 1 because it's a class is the same thing. We do gain a miracle dice. This is what all these dice rolls are. It's getting quite explainy now. So this is an extra miracle dice I'm rolling for. It's a 5. Quality stuff. Okay, so 2 melter guns. That's a double wound, automatic wound. So it goes straight through the Hellbrute's armour, and at this range, it's double dice damage. So the first shot, I'll take the 1. So he's got 4 wounds on him now. He's got 4 left, and then the second shot, please don't let us down, is the 4. So we'll get him, and only just. So does he explode on a 6? This won't harm me. I've made sure I'm outside of 3 inches. No. So, right. That was an ordeal. I was getting worried there. Off the double 1. Okay, more explainies. We've killed a unit, so on a 5+... No, we automatically get a thing, because this is a miracle dice. It's not order related. So it's a 6. So we're stacking up our 6s again. So the miracle dice just keeping us alive and well. Alright, because we dedicated that plasma gun to the Hellbrute, we can't fire it. But the Canoness can fire. Do we dare overcharging? Yes, we do. So I'm going to hit on a 2 with the Canoness. I really hope this doesn't backfire. She does hit, right, so don't kill ourselves. That's always promising. Wounds on a 2, strength 8. Gets it, needs to save on a 5. If not, he's killed. He saves on a 5, the demon save. What a beast. Alright, well that was... That's over. The Hellbrute's out of the way. Right. This squad. Right, so I've decided what this unit's going to do. So we're going to have the heavy flamer on the corner fire back at that possessed. And then we're going to have all of the other guns at this unit of chosen here because the characters aren't available to shoot. So we've got a combi melter and a melter gun in there. So this is going to be, again, very wordy. But the combi melter on the superior, we're going to use... our simulacrum again, so we can use a miracle dice on them, even though we've already used 2. So we're going to use the simulacrum to make the combi melter hit on a 4 because we're going to fire both barrels. So that hits the melter shot. And then the underslung portion of the gun we need to hit on 4s, with which we get 1 bolt to hit. So I'll put that to the side. In fact, no, we'll just... Yeah, no. We've got to complete the melter shot first. So on a 2, the melter wounds. It does wound. There's no save because these are not demon, they're just basic. So it doesn't matter what we roll because it's they've only got 1 wound. So there's 1 killed off the melter gun. And then we need 4 to wound because the underslung bolt gun. This is getting strange to explain. Right, so that's the end of her weapon because that's pretty complex. Alright, next gun is the melter gun, the basic melter gun in the squad. We need a 3. We get it, need a 2. Alright, we've killed another chosen Marine. It's all coming home now. Alright, and then we've got 7 bolt guns rapid firing. So I'm going to do 7 at a time because I haven't got enough white dice at hand. And we need 4s to wound. Right, we got 3 wounds so far, so if you want to do your 3 wounds, saving on 5s, sorry, 3s rather. So 1's dead, there's 1 chosen left remain and see if we can peg him with our rapid fire shot. Reroll 1s because we are within 9 of the Canoness still, she's down the corridor. Right, and then wounds on 4s. Okay, so we've got 2 wounds, saving on a 3, and 1 saving on a 4 because that's our Sacred Rite in action there.
Yeah, I wanted to do a command point reroll on that initial first save.
Okay, do that one then, because it's all done at the same time.
So I do save that one.
Okay, so you've still got these outstanding wounds. Yes, you've still got a save on a 4 with that one. So there's Possessed Marine gone down, and then you've got 2 basic saves for the final guy. And he goes down as well. The command point's just saving you, but the fire is withering.
Yep.
So we've cleared them away. The telepath, the navigator, is still locked in his trance, but he's no longer being escorted. So the heavy flamer now at the last remaining possessed, we'll get 3 shots with that, and then we're wounding on 3s. 2, so he's saving on 4s. Gets them both, he's invincible. Right, so that's all on this side. We've got the last squad over there to fire. Right, all of a sudden it's looking good for the sisters, but the astropath, the navigator, is just walking away from us. So we've got this last unit of fire, because I don't think I mentioned, she's dropped out of the combat. It's freed this unit up to be shot by the Sisters of Battle unit in defence. Right, so we're going to have 3 bolt guns, a crack grenade, and the flamer that she's carrying. So the crack grenade has missed. The 3 bolters rapid firing, and we get 3 hits. Need 4s. We get 2, and 1 is the Sacred Rite. So need to save on a 4 on the well, it's a double fail anyway. So 1 Possessed Marine goes down, and now I have to put up with the flamer. So that's going to be 2 shots with the flamer, 4s to wound. 1 save of 3, and the saves are not coming in now, so that's a wound on the possessed. Right, something pretty good for the sisters. We're absolutely battering the Crimson Slaughter in this turn. However, we're not really close to the astropath really, because Cranon and his Exalted Champion will butcher everything on sight really. What we're going to do is we're going to have this Canoness is going to charge this Possessed Marine. And we're not charging anywhere else, we're just going to leave the glory to this Canoness here. So she charges in on a lovely 8. She's just going to go the bare minimum to get there. So there she is, and she's going to fight now. Right, here we go, fighting away with the Canoness. 4 attacks with just a power sword. I wish it was the Blessed Blade. 5s to wound. She gets 1 wound. In fact, we should have used the miracle dice on one of them, but I've forgotten. So that's my mistake. So we've used, because we do have the means to make that better. Anyway, 1 wound and 7 on an invulnerable 5. He takes a single wound, so he's going to get the fight back. So he turns and says, "Who is this?"
D3.
D3 plus 1, so it's 3 attacks from him. Needs 3s to wound. Gets them all, but no death of the false emperors. 3s to wound. Gets 2. We've got an invulnerable 4 save with the Canoness, so we're going to automatically choose to save 1 with the miracle dice of a 5, and we're going to try and save 1 on our Rosarius on a 4. No, so she's taken a single wound, and we've performed a miracle there, so on a 5 plus we'll gain a dice. Yes, so our miracle dice is a 4. Groovy.
No.
Right, it's the start of battle round 5, so we do a miracle dice for our basic sisters roll. So we're going to re-roll that one, try and get something better from our rally. So yeah, so we've got a 4 to add to the pile. So we've got a lot of miracle dice in the pool now. Doesn't seem that we can spend them fast enough, and my brain is going to explode if I explain any more rules. Right, so right now it's the start of the battle round. So the navigator, where's he going to mosey off to? It's 6. The blood is splattered all over the floor, and the chaos powers that be like what they hear and see, and put a bit of power into drawing him closer to his doom. So he's on his way. Not cool. And it's over to the Crimson Slaughter now. Okay, it's turn 5, and it's very crucial now. Very controversial things going down in movements. Big debates on what the Crimson Slaughter need to do to win this. So this is what he's done. So Crannan is coming over. He's bloodlust, can't be sated. He needs to quiet the voices in his head, so he needs to engage in the combat, and sends Vrosh down to take care of the Navigator.
Yeah.
So this possessed stays in combat over here, and then over here, controversially, the possessed carry on through the door and want to take out as many sisters over here as they can, because he doesn't want them coming through that door. But the chances of that happening is slim, because the game probably won't continue in that deep. So he's trying to cover his bases here. However, it's not what I would have went for, and there's been a big debate over it. So we're going to see if it pans out for him. It's crucial now. Let's see what happens. He's got his shooting phase, so we'll just launch straight into it. So because there's only 2 guns left on the field to play here.
Crannan shot there.
Crannan with a plasma pistol hits.
Causes a wound.
Causes a wound, right. So we need to save on a invulnerable 6. No, so we've lost a sister. So that's 1 down. We'll take the back unit.
Vrosh has a go with his melter.
He's got to go. He did run, and he is now in contact with the Navigator, but he's got an assault melter, so he can hit on a 4 with a -1. So he does hit. The prophecy was true, and does wound. So we need to save on a 6 again against this melter gun, and we fail. So there's another sister, and now it's time for the charges.
Yep.
So we'll fire up our guns because we can overwatch on 5. So it's really dangerous charging these sisters with a character or so. So we're going to do this then. We're just going to have a look at Crannan and say,
Yeah, put Crannan in first.
and we're going to say, hey, we've got a 6 in our dice pool, and we're going to use that for a melter gun to automatically hit on the overwatch. So he knew this was going to happen. This is why he was umming and ahhing. He's hoping that Crannan saves on his invulnerable save. So the melter gun is going to be from literally the melter gunner. So it's automatic hit. Wounds on a 2 against Crannan. Does wound. He needs an invulnerable 4 save. This could be the end of Crannan. His bloodlust might have gone overboard in his saves.
He rides his luck.
Right then, so it's bolt guns, heavy flamer, and a combi melter. So we're going to have this combi melter try and hit on a 6. And that's the way of the melter. He's going to have to do it all over again. So what we're going to do is, because we've got a simulacrum, we're going to use that again, and we're going to use this 3 out of our dice pool to make sure that wounds, because we don't want to roll a 1. So that's an automatic wound. You need to save on a 4 again, Crannan. Oh, it's a 4. It just turned. Right, he's gonna get through the melter guns. Right now for the heavy flamer. See how he likes these apples.
Oh.
5 applesauce. So 3 to wound Crannan. And we get 3. So he's saving on 4s for 3 dice. He takes a wound, the first wound. And now we've got bolt guns. So we've got the underslung bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolt guns, rapid firing. That's 12 dice. That's all of our big white dice. Right, overwatching on 5s here. And reroll 1s because we're still in range of the Cannoness. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4s to wound against Crannan. Could this be it? Okay, so we've got 2 6s in there, which are AP -1. So you need 3 to save on 3s.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
He's taking another 2.
2 command point.
You've already... Oh, no, you
No, I
haven't
haven't.
yet. So it's a command point. You...
2. No, I save on 2, don't I?
No, you save on 3s. He's,
3s.
He doesn't have the armour, the demon heart anymore.
Okay. I
So
thought he saved on 2, you said earlier on.
yeah, because he used to have... Well, we had a conversation earlier where Crannan, he used to have the Slaughterer's Horns for a Furious Charge.
Oh, right.
He used to have
That's
the
what you-
Demon Heart Armour, which gave him a 2+ save, and the Blade of the Relentless, of course. Crimson Slaughter are not very good these days, so he only has his sword these days.
Alright,
So he's going to command reroll for a 3+ armour save. Right,
Yes.
he saved himself a wound. But he's still got to take these 2. So these are double 6 and he needs to save on 4s because they're AP -1, and he makes them. So he's only taking 2 wounds in the Overwatch. He's going to make it in.
What a hero.
So in he goes, right, and then we've got this ongoing combat, and then over there we've still got some possessed. So how are they gonna charge?
Mm-hmm.
Who are they gonna charge?
Right, so he's going to charge these. No, they'll have to charge.
So it's a double charge. You're gonna.
Can they do that?
Yeah, you're gonna target both units, right? Both units. So we're gonna, from the solo sister by herself, she's gonna throw a crack grenade at you. Doesn't work. And the 5 team is gonna throw a crack grenade again. It's a different squad. We do hit. Need a 3 to wound. We do wound. It's AP. Oh, it's AP -2 on a 6. So he's 7 on a 5.
Nice.
Goes through, and it's a wound. There's already an outstanding wound. I shouldn't have done the crack grenade first. Anyway, I've killed one, and the bolt guns now. The 3 bolt guns, and we've got a flamer. So we should have tried to strip that last wound with the bolt guns first. Made a mistake there. So we've got 2 hits, 1 wound, and it's AP -1. So you need to save on 4. Saves, and then the flamer. Come on, purge the heretic. 2 needs 4s. We get 2. Saves on 3. Just a single wound. So we could have got 2 there if we did our order right of shooting. So anyway, that's the charges made. Okay, Crannan will have the honours of fighting first. So he's got 5 attacks on the charge, and he's hitting on 2s. So he goes with the Blade of the Relentless. So he rerolls 1s, and he's got 2 6s. So that's 2 Death of the False Emperors. So he's stacking up his kills here. Rerolls 1s. So he's got them all. 3s to wound with the Strength 5 Blade of the Relentless. It's just a power sword. It's Strength 5 so far. So it needs 3s. That's pretty good. It's got all but 1. So that's 6 wounds on the sisters. Devastating stuff. We're going to need invulnerable 6s here. We've got none in our miracle dice pool. We save 1 and we've lost 5 sisters. Gruesome. So with 5 sisters going down, Crannan gets powered up. So now he's Blade of the Relentless automatically wounds from now on, and he's got a radius of a -2 to your leadership of 9. Right. So the possessed in the distance. So which one's fighting first? Right. So it's that one against the big squad of sisters.
So it's for the squad.
So for the squad, it's D3 plus 1. So it's just 2 attacks each. Not what he wanted. Can't reroll because he's used. Oh, you can because it's a different phase. The charge phase is different to the assault phase. So you can reroll that if you want to. Is it necessary? You've got 1 command point left.
Yeah, it is.
Right, he's spent his last command point. So he's going to reroll his random attacks for D3. It's still a 1. That's the way it goes. Right, 2 attacks each. So this on the big squad.
The big squad
gets 2 hits. Gets 2 wounds. So we're saving on 5s here. Yeah. So 1 dies out of that squad. So just take the furthest sister. Yep. And then this one fighting the lone sister. So he's going to try and take out the sister he thought was going to be a problem. Gets 1 hit. Needs a 3 to wound. He does wound. It's a 3 in the distance. Need a 5 to save her. Nope, she's gone as well. Uh-oh. Right, so because you've killed a unit on a 5+, you get a command point because you Crimson Slaughter. He does, so it is working out pretty nice in the end. So no, you got 1.
Oh yeah, 1.
You
Yeah,
used that
totally.
one. So yeah, right. So we're seeing the Crimson Slaughter rule actually being okay because he's rolled 5s a lot. So this possessed, so it's an ongoing combat, but he still gets to fight first. So D3 doesn't have +1 because he's not on the charge. So just 1 attack. Needs to Death of the False Emperor. He's rolling faster than I can speak. So he's got 1 hit, and then the wounds on a 3 against the Canoness. No, right. So tell you what, we'll fight with the Canoness first. See how she does. So she's got 4 attacks. She hits on 2s, so she can see off this beast. Gets them all, and he's got 1 wound left. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We shall use the 5 out of our pool to automatically wound, and then the other 3 don't wound, and that's exactly why we used that last dice there. So he needs to save on 5+, otherwise he's dead, because we've just chopped him with it. Oh, no, we haven't. We chopped off an unnecessary horn. That just doesn't bother him at all. Right, that squad of sisters over there, there's 4 of them. They're going to pile into that unit, just square up 2 ranks deep. So we've got a power sword in that unit, so we'll do her. Hits on 4s, gets 1. Wounds on 5s, doesn't do it. And then we've got 3 of the sisters, need 4s to hit. Nope, they don't do anything. Right, and then this bitter old battle over here. So she is just going to consolidate in like that. Right, we'll have to take away our simulacrum, so we've got no way to do any miracle dice with these this turn, or this phase rather. So she's got a power sword though, she's going to duel with Crannan. Let's see what she's made of. And not just raw meat that's about to get hacked to pieces. Yep, she's raw meat that's going to get hacked to pieces. She's just missed. Right, the other 2 basic attacks need 4s, double hits. And we need that again for 5s. Nothing. Right. Not a good time there. Right, so Crannan, he killed 5 in that squad. So we're down by 5, and then his extra fear warlord trait takes us down an extra 2. So we've lost 7 in total with that calculation. And we're leadership 8, so we need a 1 to pass morality. Nope, we'll get a 3, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10. But we'll only ever lose 1 sister as part of our order when we break. So we're going to have to take the flamer because the melter gun's got a longer range just in case we get desperate. So there's the order conviction coming into play, only losing 1 sister. That should be good. And then over there we only lost 1 sister, so we're fine. Right, that's the end of that turn for the Crimson Slaughter. Onto the sisters. This could be the final turn. Alright, so it's the sisters' turn. We've already rolled our miracle dice. We rolled a 1, but that's not a bad thing at this point because we might need it for morale. So we've had to split off from combat here. We've gone down there. We'll not be able to function, do any actions because we've dropped out of combat, but we need to get close to the navigator. These are going to stay in combat because we want to keep those possessed away, and we're going to fire our pistols off. And over here is the master plan. We're going to try and fire our pistol in close combat, kill this possessed. He's out of the way, and that'll put all the retributors on side to nail Crannan in his bloodlust. So let's see if we can achieve that. Oh, and we also healed that wound on the canoness from the hospitaler behind him. Okay, here we go. This is the crucial bit. We're going to have the canoness. She's going to shoot this possessed marine. She's not going to overcharge a pistol. There's no need to. He's only got 1 wound left. So hits on a 2 in combat. We need to clear him away.
Bang.
So we'll get him. We need a wound on a 3, and what we're going to do is going to use a 4 from our pool to make sure that wounds him. So we'll see if we get that back on a 5. We do not. It's not coming off this game at all. So he needs an invulnerable 5, and he'll save Crannan if he does. Oh! He's just saved Crannan. If he died, we would have had all the heavy bolters and 2 multi-melters ready to just blow his head clean off. Alright, well that's changed things. So we've got 4 pistols in the combat over there. I think we've blown it with that. All hit, 4s to wound. We get 1 wound and it's AP -1, so we need to save on a 4. He's getting his saves. He had a turn of not getting his saves, and now he's getting a turn of crucial saves. Fickle are the gods, but they are seeing him through here. Well, that's all I can do, so it's onto the fight. So we're going to have... she's fresh, so we're not going to fight with her. We're going to have the sisters over there, see if we can peg off 1 possessed before they get the fight. So the superior with the power sword gets 1 hit, needs a 5, doesn't do it. And then the rest of the sisters need 4s to hit. We'll get 2, needs 5s to wound. Ugh, nothing. Right, it's your turn to fight. You're going to do this possessed guy. So
okay,
D3.
D3.
He gets 2. Needs 3s to hit. Gets them both. Needs 3s to wound. Gets 1. So we save on an invulnerable 4 because of the canoness and her Rosarius. She saves. Right, canoness fight. She's got 4 attacks against that possessed. Can she beat him? when she couldn't do it with the plasma pistol. So she missed with 1, needs 5s to wound. Gets a double wound, this is it, 5s. He's dead, we've got him. We've got him.
Only just though.
Only just, but we've got him. So, we've got it, because that's a unit killed, so it's a miracle dice for us. We'll get a 2 on the miracle dice. It's not very impressive at all. Alright, so it's the possessed to fight over there then, so D3. He's got 2 attacks each, 4 attacks in total, and 3s to hit. There's a Death of False Emperor. So all hit, and 3s to wound. 4 wounds, so we need to save on 5s here. Get 2, fail 2, so 2 sisters go down. Take the ones with just the bolt guns. Still a hammer or flimmer. And that's it, we can't do anything with them. And now it's the crucial dice roll. So it was your turn first, so on a 3+, the game will continue. The game continues. Right, it's a new battle round, so we do a miracle dice roll for ourselves. So what is it? It's a 6, we'll have it. Thank you. And then the navigator, he's now in possession, so he won't move anymore. Because Vrosh will now just take control of him, or he's took control of him previously. So he can move up to 9 inches with the relic, but no more than 9 inches. So it would be a run and a 3-inch advance or more, or less. Well,
He's run.
he only gets a 1. Do you want a command point reroll that and try and whip off into the night?
I've only got 1 command point.
It's got 1 command point left, but it is the most crucial portion of the game.
So 7.
Right. So he might just turn around and fire off his melter gun with his run, like he did the last time. And what's Crannan going to do? Is he just going to polish off these 2?
He certainly is.
And then just going to get shot in the back with melter guns?
Well, we'll see.
Perhaps he knows something that we don't. Perhaps Khorne will be pleased with his bloodlust, and before he dies, he might be whisked off into the warp. But we'll have to banish him if that's the case. So he's going to move.
Yeah.
So again, he's going to have to put up with a double, a potentially double melter gun Overwatch. It's dangerous tasks for Crannan. So here we go then, shooting phase. It's just Crannan and Vrosh that's moved. So Crannan with his plasma pistol, he gets a hit on a 5. Does he wound? Yes, he does. So we need to save on a 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the 6 from our miracle dice pool to automatically pass that. And we use the miracle dice. So on a 5+, we gain 1. No. So I think I've only got 1 back this whole game.
So Frosh's melter on a 4.
Yeah, Vrosh's melter on a 4. Would he do it? Yes, he will. Needs a 2. Gets it. We need a 6 to save, or it's all over for one of those sisters. It's all over for one of those sisters. That's crucial, because that means he's only got to suffer the wrath of 1 melter gun now.
So he charges in.
Yeah. So melter gun. Perhaps we should have saved that 6 for Overwatch. Well, it wouldn't have mattered because it would have been wiped out. So we did the right thing in the end. So here we go. On a 6, he gets hit with the melter. No. And then the bolt gun element gets 1 hit. Wounds on a 6, you need to save on a 4 because it's AP -1. Gets it. Right, so Crannan will fight first because he charged. So he's got 5 attacks again. And he rolls 1s, rerolls 1s. And then he automatically wounds with that Blade of the Relentless now that it's caused casualties. So it's just 5 clean wounds on the sister at AP -3. And she doesn't save. So she's died. And the Crimson Slaughter once again on a 5+ will get themselves a command point. No. But I think the day might be won by the Crimson Slaughter here. See what happens in this combat. So D3 attacks. So it's 2. Lose me mind now.
4 ago.
3s. 2 Death of the False Emperors, so he's generating more than he started with. And they all hit this. I think that's the end for that squad. There's only 2 left. 3 wounds.
3.
Saving on 5s. It's been a brutal game. Save 2, 1 die. So we'll keep the superior with the power sword. Okay, right, the Superior will fight back. Let's see if she can kill one. One of them's got one wound left over there in the distance. One hit. No. This is the trouble with sisters, they just can't wound.
Can't do it for themselves. No combat.
No, they need Celestine. They need Celestine. And she's waiting in the wings. She's right beside us. Anyway. So it's looking grim. But we might be able to get...
It's not for me.
We might be able
Your
to
perspective it is.
bag ourselves Crannon in the last turn with the Retributors.
Bag yourself a Crannon.
Yeah, here we go then. Moving straight into the turn. Okay, Sisters, turn 5. So we gain a Miracle Dice at the start of the turn. Because of a Warlord trait, it's a 2. We're going to use a Relic to reroll that. Get a 5. Right, so it goes into the pool. We've got a 2, a 1, a 4 and a 5. But this is probably the last turn, and we're only in it to bag ourselves a Crannon because we're just too far away now from the Astropath, the Navigator. There's just no way we're going to get there. He's been escorted off the ship. We're going to be stranded here outside of Vigilus. So here we go then, the Retributor squad. Going to give him the holy cleansing blast of 2 melter guns. Here we go, multi-melters in fact. We've hit with 1. And we're going to wound using a Miracle Dice on a 2. There we go. Used that 2 after all. So do we get that back? No. Right, so we've wounded him. He needs to save on a 4. He's good at saving melter shots, but he doesn't save that one. Will you command point reroll that with your last command point?
Yeah.
He's going to do it. He's going to survive. He's survived the melter shots. Right. What can't be done with melters might be done with heavy bolters. Blast them. Real 1s because of the Canoness. Okay. And then 3s to wound this unholy creature. 3 wounds to save on 4s. He's failed 1, so he's taken 3 wounds. It's not enough to kill him. We've got a plasma gun at long range. So we're going to overcharge it and put it right between his horns.
Bang!
However, we've got the Canoness and reroll 1s.
Oh.
So it leads you down the garden path there, right? So we've wounded, and because we've got a Simulacrum, we're going to use the Faith Dice to make that automatically wound on a 4. So you need to save on a 4 again. Oh! So he's taken 5 wounds. I believe that is Crannon killed.
Yeah, he has 5 wounds.
So he's got 5 wounds, he's been killed.
Hey,
Plasma shot. However, I don't think he's dead. Because he's Crannon the Relentless. He's the chapter master of the Crimson Slaughter.
Oh,
I don't think he would die in just in a half a story off Vigilus. Anyway, I think what happens there is Khorne, pleased with his passion about going and killing those 10 sisters there.
Yeah.
Instead, he could have just easily swanned off with the Navigator. Khorne's probably pleased with him and pulled him back into the warp before the killing blow.
Exactly.
To continue the blood lust across the galaxy. Because really, he's pretty much wiped out all the sisters here, and Khorne would be pleased. Alright, so Crannon escapes with his life, but he's been banished. The sister over there, she's got a pistol in combat. We're just going to see if she can kill a possessed. So she gets a 6 and hits. Needs a 4, gets it. Needs a 7 and a 3. He survives. Right, the last combat in the game, because we're going to have to concede after this. She's got the power sword. Let's see if she can get that last possessed. She has missed. Will the Emperor protect her? You get your attacks back. D3. Gets the full 3. The Emperor has abandoned us in this bleak part of the ship. Oh, look at that. Death to the false Emperor. So, 3s to wound. This is the end of the road for that sister. So 4. 7 5s. She is killed.
And a cherub.
And with that, we will concede the game because there's no way we're going to get down there fast enough. I mean, if the game goes on, we won't be able to kill those possessed because they'll hide around the wall. And because he's a character, we won't be able to catch him. And like he says, he's through the door in the next moving phase. So he goes off, boards the corrupted Thunderhawk that's waiting in the bay, and the sisters look on as the door slams shut in a wonky way, because it's really hard to get these doors in. There we go.
So one door closes, another one slams in your face.
Dramatic.